billion-dollar fortunes, courtroom showdowns, and a family torn apart. This is the shocking true story of how Australia's richest woman, Gina Rinehart, went to war with her own children. A saga of wealth, power, and legal warfare that gripped the nation. Welcome to the Hancock family feud, where blood isn't always thicker than iron ore. Georgina Hope Rinehart, better known as Gina Rinehart, is an Australian billionaire mining magnate and businesswoman with an estimated net worth of $30 billion. She is the executive chairwoman of Hancock Prospecting, a privately owned mineral exploration and extraction company founded by her father, Lang Hancock. Let's dive in to see how it all went down. The story begins with Lang Hancock, a man who literally changed Australia's landscape. In 1952, while flying over Western Australia, Hancock discovered vast iron ore deposits, worth billions. He built an empire through Hancock Prospecting, a company that would later become a mining powerhouse. Lang was known for his larger-than-life personality, his controversial political views, and his relentless pursuit of wealth. He was a vocal opponent of government regulations and strongly believed in minimizing state interference in business. Amidst all of this, his daughter Gina Rinehart was watching and learning. Born in 1954, Gina was raised with the expectation that she would one day take over the empire. She studied economics at the University of Sydney, but dropped out to work alongside her father, gaining first-hand experience in the industry. By the 1980s, she was already playing a critical role in Hancock Prospecting's operations. But in the late 1980s, Lang's health began to decline, and tensions within the family escalated. The once unbreakable bond between father and daughter fractured, largely due to Lang's marriage to a much younger woman, Rose Porteous. When Lang Hancock passed away in 1992, Gina Rinehart was not only mourning the loss of her father, she was preparing for the fight of her life. Lang Hancock's third wife, Rose Porteous, was a glamorous and controversial figure, known for her lavish lifestyle and extravagant parties. Many believe she had a significant influence over Lang in his final years, a belief that Gina Rinehart strongly shared. When Lang died in 1992 at the age of 82, his death was surrounded by mystery. Gina accused Rose of neglect and even suspected foul play. An inquest into his death ultimately found that Lang had died of natural causes. However, the feud between Gina and Rose quickly escalated into a bitter legal battle, with Gina launching lawsuits to prevent Rose from inheriting any portion of Lang's fortune. The legal war lasted for over a decade, filled with dramatic accusations and counterclaims. Gina portrayed Rose as a gold digger who manipulated her father, while Rose accused Gina of trying to erase her from Lang's legacy. The battle finally ended in 2003 with a confidential settlement, but by then the damage was done. Gina had solidified her control over Hancock Prospecting, but at the cost of a fractured family relationship. Meanwhile, in the early 1990s, Hancock Prospecting was drowning in debt. Despite her father's vision, financial mismanagement had left the business in a dire state. Gina's first challenge was keeping the company afloat, and she did so by aggressively renegotiating mining deals, cutting unnecessary expenses, and securing crucial partnerships. One of her biggest wins came in the form of a joint venture with Rio Tinto, a move that brought stability and much-needed cash flow to the company. With the stepmother out of the way, Gina set her sights on turning Hancock Prospecting into an even bigger mining powerhouse. She expanded operations, struck lucrative deals, and became a dominant force in Australia's business landscape. But Gina didn't stop there. She saw the potential in the Pilbara region and pushed forward with massive projects, including the Roy Hill mine, a multi-billion-dollar iron ore operation that would redefine Australia's mining landscape. Under Gina's leadership, Hancock Prospecting transformed from a struggling family business into a mining giant. Today, it stands as one of the most profitable private companies in Australia. But even as her empire grew, another storm was brewing, this time within her own family. Fast forward to 2011. Gina Rinehart is now the richest person in Australia, but behind the scenes, her own children are preparing for war. The fight, control of a multi-billion-dollar family trust set up by their grandfather, Lang Hancock. The trust, known as the Hope Margaret Hancock Trust and held 25% stake in Hancock Prospecting, was meant to benefit Gina's 4 children: John, Bianca, Hope, and Gina. They were supposed to get their share of the money in September 2011 when the youngest child, Gina, turned 25. But there was a catch. Gina was the sole trustee, controlling access to their inheritance. As the scheduled distribution date approached, Gina made a shocking move. She wrote to her children explaining that they would be bankrupted if they took their money due to capital gains taxes that they needed to pay. But 3 of her children, John, Bianca, and Hope, believed Gina was using her power to block them from their rightful inheritance. So they decided to take matters into their own hands. In September 2011, the children filed a lawsuit against their mother, accusing her of deceptive, manipulative, and disgraceful conduct. The case rocked Australia's business world and turned into a media sensation. As the case unfolded, shocking revelations came to light. Court documents revealed that Gina had tried to push the distribution date of the trust as far as 2068, essentially locking her children out of their inheritance for decades, although Gina denied this. Even more damning, leaked emails suggested that Gina had used tactics bordering on intimidation and sought to wield her influential connections in the legal battle in order to maintain her grip on the family fortune. John Hancock, the eldest son, said, "We want to see our grandfather's wishes honoured. He did not want Gina to have everything or for her to dictate our lives." Bianca Rinehart also took a strong stance, saying that she had been threatened and intimidated by her own mother. Hope Welker, who initially supported John and Bianca, withdrew from action in early 2014 after reaching a private agreement with her mother. But Gina Rinehart didn't back down. Her legal team argued that she was simply protecting the family's wealth from potential mismanagement. They stated that none of her 3 children had the requisite capacity or skill or the knowledge, experience, judgment, or responsible work ethic to manage the trust, claiming that their actions could jeopardize Hancock Prospecting's future. The battle lines were drawn and the case was headed for a lengthy, high-stakes court showdown. As the legal battle raged on, things got even messier. More leaked emails revealed that Gina had tried to force her children into signing agreements that would keep the trust's details secret forever. She argued that public scrutiny could jeopardize the family's wealth and business interests. Meanwhile, her youngest daughter, Gina, stood by her mother's side, accusing her siblings of putting money before family values. The drama played out like a high-stakes soap opera in the media. Media reports exposed the depth of bitterness between the siblings. John allegedly referred to his younger sister, Gina Rinehart, as so spoiled her brain had turned to a weak bowl of porridge, and that she was incompetent, craving attention and superficial. His sister Gina, in turn, has said, "This case is motivated entirely by greed, and I have no doubt that one day soon my brother and sisters will regret putting money before family. Unfortunately, this realization will come too late as the damage to our family and its good reputation will already have been done." In 2015, after a 4-year legal battle, the New South Wales Supreme Court finally delivered its decision in the case. Gina's eldest daughter Bianca was handed control of the Hope Margaret Hancock Trust by the court, replacing her mother as trustee, effectively allowing John and Bianca greater control over their stake in the trust. Despite losing the legal battle to her 2 children over the family trust, Gina Rinehart remains Australia's richest person, still expanding her mining empire and wielding significant influence in business and politics. She maintains control over Hancock Prospecting through her 75% stake in the company and continues to secure major mining deals across the globe. John Hancock and Bianca Rinehart continue to be locked in other legal battles with their mother over mining assets left behind by their grandfather, Lang Hancock. Hope Welker has chosen to remain private and lives in New York. Meanwhile, Gina's youngest daughter, Gina Rinehart, has also remained private and very little is known about her. The wounds from this family war may never fully heal, but one thing is clear: Gina Rinehart's grip on her empire remains unshaken. With her sharp business acumen and relentless drive, there's not much that can slow down the Gina Rinehart juggernaut. The Hancock family feud proves that even billion-dollar empires can be torn apart from within. But they're not the only ultra-wealthy dynasty caught in a battle for power. If you thought this story was intense, wait until you hear about the family feud involving the UK's wealthiest family. The story awaits in Inside the Hinduja Empire, billionaires, scandals and a family feud.